TV soap news and spoilers say that in the picturesque town of Fairmont Crest, where secrets linger behind every manicured hedge and whispered rumors ripple through the cobblestone streets, the latest chapter of Beyond the Gates unfolded with heart-stopping intensity. For those who missed today's gripping episode, prepare to be swept into a whirlwind of emotion, betrayal, and unexpected alliances as the residents of this enigmatic community face trials that will forever alter their lives. The evening began with a promise of romance, a rare moment of tranquility for Bill and his new wife, Haley. The couple, still basking in the glow of their recent union, planned a quiet night at home, a sanctuary from the chaos of Fairmont Crest. Candles flickered, casting warm shadows across the living room, and soft music filled the air as they settled onto the couch, lost in each other's embrace. Haley, with her radiant smile and tender touch, leaned in for a kiss, her heart racing with love for the man who had become her everything. But in an instant, the dreamlike scene shattered. Bill's face, usually a mask of calm confidence, contorted with a shaky expression, a secret he'd buried deep, hidden from his family and even his adoring bride. Before Haley could register the flicker of fear in his eyes, Bill collapsed, his body slumping against the cushions, lifeless and pale. Panic seized Haley, her breath catching in her throat as the love of her life lay unresponsive. Her hands trembled, but her instincts kicked in. With a steely resolve, she grabbed her phone and dialed 911, her voice quaking yet clear as she relayed the emergency. "My husband, he's collapsed. Please, hurry," she cried, tears streaming down her cheeks as she cradled Bill's head, willing him to hold on. The operator's calm instructions guided her through the agonizing wait, and Haley did everything right, checking his pulse, ensuring his airway was clear, and whispering words of encouragement through her sobs. Sirens wailed in the distance, a beacon of hope piercing the night, and soon paramedics stormed the house, their swift, practiced movements a lifeline for Bill. As they whisked him away on a stretcher, Haley's world spun, her heart torn between fear and the desperate need to stay strong. The ripple effects of Bill's collapse reached beyond the walls of their home, pulling others into the storm. Haley, grappling with the weight of the crisis, knew she couldn't face it alone. Her thoughts turned to Naomi Hamilton, Bill's daughter and her dearest friend. Despite the late hour, Haley's fingers flew across her phone, dialing Naomi's number. "Naomi, it's your dad," she choked out, her voice thick with emotion. "He's had a medical emergency, we're heading to the hospital. Please, come quickly." On the other end, Naomi's world tilted. The vibrant, unshakable man who'd raised her, who'd walked her through life's challenges with a steady hand, was now fighting for his life. Shock coursed through her, her knees buckling as she clutched the phone, the words barely sinking in. Bill had always seemed invincible, his quiet strength a constant in her life. Yet, unbeknownst to Naomi, he'd been concealing a fragile health condition, a secret now laid bare in the most devastating way. Naomi raced to Fairmont Crest Medical Center, her mind a chaotic blur of worry and memories, her father's warm laugh, his gentle advice, the way he'd always been her rock. Arriving at the hospital, she caught sight of her father being wheeled through the double doors, his face ashen, tubes and monitors trailing from his still form. Haley stood nearby, her eyes red-rimmed and frantic, and the two women collided in a tearful embrace. In that sterile, fluorescent-lit corridor, amidst the beeping machines and hurried footsteps of nurses, Haley and Naomi clung to each other, their bond deepening in the face of shared fear. Best friends by choice, now united by crisis, they found solace in their mutual love for Bill, whispering prayers and hopes as they awaited news from the doctors. The prognosis was uncertain, the hours stretching into an eternity, and the weight of the unknown pressed heavily on their hearts, threatening to upend everything they held dear. While Bill's emergency cast a shadow over Fairmont Crest, another drama brewed in the life of Danny, whose own world teetered on the edge of upheaval. Her relationship with Andre had been a quiet comfort, a private haven amidst the town's tangled web of intrigue. But tonight, Andre's desires clashed with Danny's fears. He longed to take their love public, to shout it from the rooftops and let Fairmont Crest bear witness to their devotion. His eyes sparkled with passion as he pleaded, "Danny, I'm tired of hiding. I want everyone to know you're mine." But Danny, plagued by insecurity, recoiled at the thought. The scrutiny of the town, the whispers behind closed doors, it was too much. Her heart raced with doubt. Was she ready? Could their love withstand the pressure? The tension hung thick between them, Andre's hopeful gaze meeting Danny's hesitant one, and the silence that followed felt like a chasm. Danny's reluctance stemmed from a deep-seated fear of judgment, a scar from past wounds that Fairmont Crest's gossip mill had only deepened. Andre, ever patient, reached for her hand, his touch warm and reassuring, but her mind swirled with what-ifs. Would going public strengthen their bond or fracture it beyond repair? As they stood in the dim light of her porch, the weight of the decision loomed, a storm cloud threatening to burst. For Danny, the stakes felt impossibly high: lose Andre to her caution, or risk everything for a love she wasn't sure she could fully embrace. Tuesday's episode promises to unravel this delicate dance, leaving viewers on edge. Will Danny's doubts cast a permanent shadow over their romance, or will Andre's persistence light the way forward? Amidst the chaos of medical emergencies and romantic turmoil, Leslie, Fairmont Crest's resident schemer, wove her own web of deception. Known for her cunning and a mind that raced 10 steps ahead, Leslie had few allies in this tight-knit town. Her reputation for malicious plots preceded her, a trail of broken trust and calculated moves that left her isolated. Yet, tonight, she needed help, something big, something only a fool would agree to. With a sly smile and honeyed words, she set her sights on an unsuspecting target, someone naive enough to fall for her charm. "I just need a little favor," she purred, her eyes glinting with intent as she cornered her mark in the dimly lit corner of the local cafe. The air crackled with tension, her victim oblivious to the trap being laid. Leslie's plan was a masterpiece of manipulation, every detail meticulously crafted. She dangled promises of reward, her voice a velvet lure, while her mind churned with the real motive, a scheme that would tilt the balance of power in Fairmont Crest to her favor. Who would be foolish enough to aid her? The town held its breath, wary of Leslie's machinations, yet someone would inevitably take the bait, drawn in by her charisma and blind to the chaos she'd unleash. As always, Leslie's endgame remained shrouded, her true intentions a dark secret that would ripple through Fairmont Crest, leaving destruction in its wake. Today's episode of Beyond the Gates delivered a roller coaster of drama, from Bill's life-threatening collapse to the raw emotion binding Haley and Naomi, Danny's heart-wrenching indecision, and Leslie's sinister plotting. Fairmont Crest, once a facade of serene perfection, now pulses with uncertainty, its residents grappling with crises that test their strength, loyalty, and cunning. As Bill fights for his life, as friendships deepen and relationships teeter, and as Leslie's schemes take root, the town stands on the brink of transformation. Tune in to the next episode to see how these gripping tales unfold, and brace yourself for the shocks, tears, and triumphs that await in the shadowed streets of Fairmont Crest. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.